G'day guys, welcome back. Going to be doing some more war videos this season. New tactic. So yeah, we're going to kick off this first war here, first fight. We're up against X-K9, the Brotherhood. Um, yeah, so I got two. I'm going to do the first two wars of the season in this one video, so I'll try and keep it short, sweet. I've got the Void fight here. This is part 4, section 1, where he goes. You get reverse controls if you have 3 debuffs, 3 or more debuffs on you. So just going in with Mole Man here. Not much to this fight really. I've got suicides on obviously, and I did take off willpower just in case, but yeah, not really needed here, as you can see. I even tried to bait a special here. But he just doesn't want to throw it for some reason. So I figured I'll just go in, just try and nuke here. Yeah, so don't even need to bait a special in that fight really. Even if you try, apparently he won't throw it, so there you go. Alright, so now we got this Mangog here. Nothing, yeah, this is a bit of a boring fight here. Let me just fast forward here. Nothing to this fight really. You just kind of, you know, test Mole Man versus Mangog. I probably could have went in with either of the other two options as well, but I just figure Mole Man, he's got a little bit of a safety net for the unblockable attacks. If for whatever reason Mangog gets to an unblockable SP2. It was a slow fight. I don't play it that well, to be honest. But yeah, it's just, you know, yeah, very slow. As you can see, I just kind of back and forth, baiting specials. There he goes with a SP2, glancing, kind of slows me down. I do eventually kind of get on top of it. There you go. I kind of eventually time an SP2, my SP2 without the glancing debuff on me. The unsteady debuff, that's the one. So now I'm unsteady again. So yeah, a little bit of a annoying fight. Not really any risk of dying or anything. It's just super annoying, super slow. Anyway, I think that's pretty much going to be over soon. A little bit of a whiff there on the first hit of that relic. Alright, so that's Mangog done. Alright, now we're over to path 1, section 2. And this is, what have we got here? Agent Venom. So, just going to use Yondu here. Yeah, just use Yondu. Power start 1, just so I'll get a heal block on nice and early. And yeah, Yondu, his heal block lasts quite some time. I think it's 20 seconds. Or 30 seconds if they have a regeneration effect when you apply the debuff. When you apply the heal block. So this fight, nothing much to it. Just hit him. Everything is all physical damage here, so high energy diet doesn't really come into play here. You can either hit block or you can just play normal, either way. Got a clip there, bit annoying really. I'm getting a fair few debuffs on me. Not sure if I need to be worried about all those, but seems like so far they're not really doing anything detrimental. Got a little bit of regen happening at the moment from those debuffs. Yeah, so he's almost down. Alright, that's Agent Venom down. Alright, next fight we have Onslaught here. This is the node where if you trigger a buff, it gets purified, and he'll get a regeneration effect and an armor up buff. Once again, Yondu pretty good for this fight with his heal block. He steals armor ups as well, so yeah, pretty straightforward here. Just a normal fight. Alright, now the heal block's up. There's really not much to worry about here. Just a normal Yondu versus Onslaught fight. I really like what they did with Yondu's buff. He's pretty, you see him everywhere now. He's in BGs, he's in War. So they really brought him up, made him useful again. He was kind of a nothing champ up until they did that buff. It's almost down here. A few more hits and he'll be dead. That's it. So nice and easy. Nothing much to that. Last fight of the war. This is High Evo on Power Snack, one too many hits, and steady build up unblockable. Just going to use Lumitrix here. Pretty straightforward fight as long as you manage your combos. I do mess up my combo count. I do some miscalculations, but it doesn't cost me. It's very difficult to get this fight wrong. Plan is just to use your evade basically, and then just alternate combos. I like to push him over a bar of power using a heavy. So for whatever reason I can't punish a special, I've got my evade ready. So this is where I mess it up. Yeah, but it's fine. You can just kind of throw heavies in the corner there, and you're pretty safe. I've also removed Dexterity Mastery for this fight. That's the only buff he really gets, and you know, he doesn't need it in this fight. You just bait SP1s, and there's no projectile, so no need for Dexterity. Just gonna throw this. Should be unblockable. Yep. Throw an SP2. Bait this, and yeah, should finish this off. So pretty straightforward. Couple of mistakes there, but anyway, we managed to win this war. I think our BG did one death, but yeah, just first war kind of jitters. So hopefully we improve on that. But yeah, GG's to X-K9. Alright, so next war, this is the current war we're in at the moment, versus the PBT. So I'm taking part 3, section 1. I've got this future Ant-Man here. I'm using Kashala. Bleed immune, so no real risk here, apart from just getting smacked. But I think this is a low sig. I think it was only a sig 40. Sig 40 fam, so if I do use SP1s, Incinerate should last a decent amount of time. So I think the main focus here is just play normal, try to get your intercepts to drop the armor, and then, you know, just don't get hit, basically. Don't die. I think the SP2 here is a bit better play. Get those soul barbs going. They do a fair bit of damage, so yeah, pretty easy. I think that was under a minute. Yeah, 55 seconds, so pretty straightforward. Now we've got Korg here, strike counter combat, yeah, so this is pretty straightforward as well. Tactic defender. I'm going to use Kashala, who is a tactic attacker. I've got obviously Wags with me for the pre-fight. Without Wags, this fight with Kashala would be a lot more difficult, but with Wags, it's a whole different fight. I think I had an invul on the last fight, so I think I've got an invul on here as well. Basically, he's just gonna, there's a risk that he can auto block lights and mediums, so the Wags really helps with that. He can't auto block when he's stunned. So it's basically just parry, heavy, parry, do a few hits. You get the placebo buffs up, that'll give you power. And yeah, I'll just chip away, just using special attacks. So far so good, fight's going well. And obviously Kashala, all energy based attacks, so there's no thorns damage from his rock stacks when you use mediums or heavies and things like that. Alright, so that's brought down, full yellow bar, nice and easy. Alright, so now I'm over to path 4 in section 1. Section 2. And we got this void here. Typical placement for void. So just again using Mole Man. Similar strategy to last war's fight on path 4. Just parry heavy a few times. Build up some monster mass. Trigger frenzy and then just nuke. Idea here is you don't want to bait any specials ideally, but if you have to bait a special, do it right at the end when he's closer to 3 bars, so that way you know, less time for you to have debuffs and get melted. So that was pretty quick, pretty easy. Oh, hang on, we're missing a fight here. Serpent, okay. Spoiler alert, I do die here, unfortunately. I just play this fight really bad, really poor. I think just the start of it goes wrong, and then I just can't recover. You really need to have this fight. You really need good AI. You need to not lose your combo, because you want to be hitting those multiples of 10, so you can cleanse the, yeah, that's where I don't know what happened there. So you want to be able to get to the multiples of 10, so you can cleanse those, the power stings. But as you can see, because I lost my combo at the start, I really needed to throw an SP1, ideally. I mean, at this point it is recoverable, but I don't know, I just don't play it well. I do prefer this fight with Wolf, but yeah. I mean, Kashala, you know, she really needs to be throwing specials versus Serpent, but those power stings are really making it difficult to get my, you know, the rotation, keep the rotation going, throwing SP1s for debuffs and, you know, that sort of thing. So yeah, I don't know what, I lost an indestructible there, which cost me as well, because I think I take an SP3 to the face. So had I had that indestructible, I would have probably came out of this fight okay. At this point I've got power stings, I can't really use a special because I don't want to die, and now he's in immortality and he's getting crazy. So yeah, unfortunate. I lost that invul, that last hit, and this doesn't quite kill, so and then I just get SP3 to death. So yeah, had I had that invul, I probably would have survived this and maybe could have finished him off. But anyway, I died there. Alright, so now we've got Imperiosa here. This is yeah, I'm just going to use Kashala here. This is node 38 or something. I don't know. The debuff immune when you knock him down. So I just got Kushala here with Wags. Oh, and aggression prowess as well. So, but Kushala pretty goated for these sorts of fights because she just regens back most of the block damage. So I've got a passive soul barb there. That's what you want for this fight. So yeah, nothing much to this. Just kind of parry heavy. Try and get your keep your spells up. Unfortunately, that wasn't passive, but it's fine. It's going well. There we go. Got a passive soul barb. So she's dead. Nice and easy. Alright, now we're going on to Spider Woman. It's node at 42, I believe. Same node that Haiba was on last war. Power Snack, one too many hits. So I'm going to go in with Mole Man here. Pretty straightforward. Suicides. I removed Dexterity Mastery again, just for safety. But you actually don't really need it because she's so SP1 happy. And you don't need to Dex in this fight. You just parry heavy, basically, the entire fight. So you get around the evade and all that sort of thing. So yeah, as long as you have max stand your ground and some monster mash, you can block unblockables. So that's the idea. Just parry heavy, really. I missed a parry there. Triggered Frenzy, and the unstoppable buff gave her some power there. But yeah, the removing dexterity is mainly just in case she doesn't want to throw specials, and she gets above 2 bars, and if you try and, you know, bait a special, it'll shoot her up to 3 bars of power. So it's mainly just to avoid that situation. Even though, as you can see, she just throws SP1s at, you know, you don't really have to bait. You just stand there and she'll just throw it. So, yep. So, not much to this fight. Parry heavy. Maybe throw a special 2 in if the timing's right. Yeah. Almost over. Probably 1 or 2 more heavies. And that'll be her done. Yep, alright. Moving on, we got Null here. This is has a Shift Incinerate Shock and Aggression Prowess. I'm doing a lot of Prowess nodes this war. So going in with Mole Man here. Yeah, nothing to it really. Purify all those debuffs. In a frenzy and just smack away, really. Obviously just want to bait SB2s. He's just not throwing it. He's building up prowess as well, which isn't good. Maybe he throws it eventually. Unfortunately, he throws an SP1 into my block there. It's kind of annoying, but it should still be fine. I'm hoping we can just kill him here before... Anyway, the timer ends when I was throwing a special, so we didn't get the reverse controls there, which is nice. And that's an all down. Alright, next fight we got this Cersei here. This on the boss island. This, I wasn't sure. I was a little bit worried about this fight because of all the buff she has expiring so fast. You know, and I've got no way to counter miss, so I've got to really be throwing heavies and special attacks quite often, which this tactic kind of gives you the ability to do. So I was a little bit worried, but not overly worried. Obviously I can block unblockable attacks, so yeah. I think the idea is, I think the plan was just to go SP2s here, get the Soul Barb on, because nullifying gives them power, but I actually used a special one there, and it didn't give her much power, so not sure what I thought it was 20% of bar of power when you nullify a buff, so I don't know. Maybe it isn't so bad. But anyway, the falter is being a little annoying on this fight. There we go, got a nice soul bar there, ticking away for 5800. Yeah, there we go. This yeah, falter's back. It just keeps on applying and applying. Like it. As soon as it finishes, it almost reapplies straight away. But anyway, fight's almost over. Another soul bar there, doing some nice damage. She's just ticking away now. And yeah, just throw an SP3. And that's all she wrote. So yeah, unfortunate death there, but what can you do? These are the breaks. So yeah, at the moment that's the score. We're kind of halfway through the war here, 2-1. Obviously one of those is my death. So yeah, hopefully we can close this out with lower deaths than last war. Yeah, so we'll see. We'll see what happens here. I know these guys are pretty seasoned war alliance, so yeah, they're going to be tough to beat. But either way, GG's to both teams. All right, see you guys on the next one.